So, in what should be a surprise to absolutely nobody, Caitlin Clark has been named most valuable player. Wait, Puerto Rico got into the World Cup. Wow. But Caitlin Clark got named most valuable player for this group. Caitlin Clark led Team USA in total points, assists per game, efficiency was. I think she might have. I'm not. Maybe did she still lead in plus minus in the end? Like it didn't really matter. She was the only player. Like Paige Bueckers wasn't top 3 in points. Paige wasn't top 3 in assists. Kalia Copper had some garbage games. It was obviously going to Caitlin Clark. Let's be real. It was obviously going to Caitlin Clark. And there's no ifs, ands, or buts. Like there's no real question about that. Like over the 5 games, she was the best player. When you accumulate the stats, is what it comes out to. There's not much of an argument otherwise. And if you want to say, oh, she was the MVP because Kalia Copper sat a game out. Kalia Copper sat a game out. Like, that's a fact. But, yeah. If you guys agree Caitlin Clark deserved MVP, subscribe. We are trying to get to 570.5k by the end of the day, and we're 20 subscribers off. And lads, it is currently 3 a.m. where I am. I am in all the bits. I'm in bits right now, trying to make this video, and I'm just after taking an hour nap and woke up, and I don't know what's going on. But yeah, so we got to talk about it here. Gotten ratioed. Completely deserved, obviously. The stats don't lie. Tiso MVP. Oh my god, I can't wait to see the Caitlin Clark haters. And by the way, do you guys know who won the MVP vote? I think it was Amani McGee Stafford. I think Angel Reese won it in the end, and it was Angel because of the bots. I think it was Angel, Amani McGee Stafford, Caitlin Clark. Sorry, no, Paige Bueckers, Caitlin Clark. I think congrats, Caitlin. Was there any doubt? Took 8 months off and won. Did all that defensive nitpicking, and many people gotta be like, "There's both ends." Well, yes, but they won every game. They won by an average of like 40 points. So no, like individual defense does not matter when you're winning by an average of 40 points. But the best in the world, I wouldn't say that, to be honest. The best in the world, it's hard to argue over AJ right now. A bit less of the old Caitlin Clark hater situation. A bit less of that than I thought. A bit less of it than I thought. Oh, maybe tomorrow we get the old people talking about Caitlin Clark in a negative way again after winning her MVP. When this was obviously a media award, and it was hard to vote anyone other than Caitlin Clark. It was hard to vote anyone other than Caitlin Clark, for being honest. Because, like, if you look, she accumulated more points than Kelsey Plum, who didn't do much other than points. She accumulated and had more assists per game than everybody else. Even today, like, she was one of the best defensive guards on the team today. She has not been one of the best defensive guards over the term, but she was today. So it's a scenario where it was an obvious choice. There was never really in doubt. I think there's a reason why I took an hour nap and woke up now, because I knew she was going to be named MVP. I knew she was going to be named MVP. So, who was the All-Star 5? I'll be interested to see who the All-Star 5 was. Obviously, Caitlin getting named MVP is kind of cool. Okay, so they gave her the MVP trophy. I'm surprised they didn't name the full All-Star 5. Or did they? No, they haven't named the All-Star 5. So my guess, I don't know. I actually don't know, because they're going to put 2 Americans in it. I have no idea who's going to be the All-Star 5. I actually have 0 idea whatsoever about who is going to be in this All-Star 5. Like, could it be Kelsey Plum And by the way, I actually said I'd be okay if Kelsey Plum won MVP. I would have been okay if Plum won. Paige would have been a weird one. It probably could be Paige. I think coming into today, it probably was Caitlin Paige. And I'd say it was probably, and in that order, like Caitlin and Caitlin first, Paige second. And I do think Caitlin and Paige probably had a similar enough game. But like right now at 0 today. But Caitlin going and winning her MVP, coming immediately off a 8-month break. Was it 8? Yeah, an 8-month break playing basketball. That's big. That is big. And look, she looked healthy. She looked like she was moving well. She slimmed down a lot, which is really good for how Caitlin plays. Like the bulk last year could not have. I'm not gonna say the bulk. I'm not gonna blame the bulk for the injuries, but she looked slower even when she was quote unquote healthy. She looked slower. She's looking herself again, and hopefully we get a season. The odds of there being a season is very high. The odds of there being a season that's not delayed, I don't know. I think they'll delay training camp, they'll delay preseason, because like there's like a 2-week gap between the start of preseason games and the start of the season. They'll just take away a week of preseason. Like we're at the stage where that's a near certainty, where that first week of preseason is not going to be happening. But getting to watch Caitlin Clark again is going to be big, and it's going to be big for a lot of us. It's going to be big. We're going to be able to watch one of the best players in the world, most exciting player in the world, go play her game and continue to kind of just do her thing, continue to do what she does, continue to hoop, continue to be the best guard in the sport. And I'm going to be honest, like I don't think Caitlin Clark's the best player in the sport, but she's the best guard in the sport. And let's be very real, like basketball from an entertainment standpoint, which it is. People are like, oh, people just care about those logo threes. Like, well, it matters. Those passes, those logo threes, they're the reason you watch. The can't miss plays that Caitlin Clark can make on any given possession. We saw one of them every game here. That's why you watch. That's why you tune into sports. There are moments. And any given possession when Caitlin Clark, unless she's being played off the ball and being told to play small forward, on any given possession, Caitlin Clark has an ability to pull off something magic. And that is, for me, one of those things with Caitlin Clark is like, it's one of the biggest reasons why I kind of got into it, is that just on the purest level, with the way modern basketball is going, with the analytic takeover of modern basketball, with the way things are going, there are with like the sport becomes about moments. And for me, you're seeing Caitlin Clark just be able to, what she does and how she does it, like that kind of brings that kind of the joy back into watching the sport in that regard. But anyway, yeah, that's the video. Congratulations, Caitlin. Well deserved MVP. I'll see you guys.